She's a bloody mess. Oh, this is funny to you? In the distance, the Golden Knight, completely unscathed, laughs like a madman. So that is all the power of humanity's strongest sacred sword can muster. Human power is truly pathetic. His laughter rises so high it seems to soar up into the heavens. This must be hilarious to him. He's just smiling to himself, not even paying Saber any mind now that she's fallen. Saber. She doesn't answer. Blood spurts from her mouth as she tries to gasp. The world goes red. What was I doing? I knew this would happen. I knew Saber couldn't win against Gilgamesh, so why didn't I try to stop her? Even if I had to use a command spell. What a bore, not even a challenge. I'm disappointed you were so easily defeated, Saber. Ah, my mistake. I should have gone easy on you. You are just a woman after all. His smug voice is grating. This is my fault. I thought she could win. As bad a feeling as I had about this, I was sure Excalibur would win. I may have told her to stop, but my command spell didn't react. I obviously wasn't serious. If I'd been serious about protecting her, I could have used a command spell to make her escape, even if it was just her. There would have at least been options for me to fight on my own. Sure, you would have died like 10 times easier. Like, come on, man. So it's time for me to collect what's mine. She's gotten a little dirty, but no matter. She was going to end up that way anyway. Scratch here or there makes no difference. Right, I mean, she's going to be used eventually, so why not save a bit of money and buy used in the first place? Ha ha ha! His voice draws closer. Interesting. Saber must have come too. I see her eyes open. Saber, are you alright? I can see her breathing, yet I'm still far enough away that I can't reach her. She lays still, but I can't run to her. All I can do is call out to her. Saber! 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 Saber's mouth opens. She breathes in as if to ask for help, but even that is painful enough to send her into a coughing fit. Shadow, are you there? Her voice is weak. The question makes clear she can't see me. Ooh. Check out the profile. Oh, maybe after this, like, super dramatic scenes and stuff. Hold on, Al. I can't very well say I'll help. I'm on the ground too and can only move one arm. I can't even offer words of encouragement. At least she can't see me in this pathetic state. Oh, I see. I must have lost. She tilts her head toward me, her eyes lifeless. I am sorry. Please escape, even if you must do so alone, Master. Saber coughs up blood. Anger seizes me, and I see red. I'd been relying on Saber, and this is the result. I took one hit, and I can't even get up. I grab my head with one hand, and that still works. I could just about kill myself. I have every intention of crushing my head and so pour all the strength I can into my hands. That doesn't really seem like a advisable course of action. The switch fails. Instead of using my finger, I imagine a hammer to press the switch to change myself into a mage. Don't ever use it again. Protection is beyond your abilities. Or projection is beyond your abilities. I hear Chisaka's voice. She said that trying to MageCraft beyond your abilities will destroy the caster's nerves and magic circuits. So what? Saber's more important than any of that. If I can't protect her, I don't need my head anyway. She saved me so many times. I've never cared about someone the way I care about her. So, if I can't protect her, I'm better off dead. I hear the pounding of iron. The shattered bones of my body are being reinforced by magical energy. There's no holding back. But first, let's actually see what's going on with regards to our new info. What's it good? Noble Phantasm, probably? These Inuma Ilish. The star of creation divided heaven and earth. Yeah, the sword of rupture, the blade that can sever space itself. A rift created by compressed and clashing winds becomes an artificial fault line that divides space-time, annihilating everything that stands against it. There is no way to defend against its destructive power unless the target has an anti-purge AC, or an attack powerful enough to cancel it out. The damage value is strength times 20. So, let's suppose you roll your d20, it's a relative average roll, 12, multiply that by 20, and you're talking 240 points of, 240 points of damage there. But the MGI, magic value, can randomly be added to strength. Its maximum damage is 4,000. I feel like did I forget to carry a number? Its maximum damage is 4,000. However, its damage increases exponentially when noble phantasms from the treasury are used as backup. It is a sword with the power to sever the world, which makes it equal to, or even more powerful than Saber's Excalibur. You don't say. Rank EX. What? Okay. It's an anti-world weapon? That's a thing? Yeah. Range 1 to 99. Max targets 1,000 persons. Okay, now, sorry to be a bit of a nitpicker and stickler for definitions, but I would think the world seems to have more than 1,000 persons on it. Okay. I wonder, are there enough like little D&D style rules that you could conceivably just create, like play Fate as a tabletop role-playing game? Maybe. Who can say? Long time since last choice? Yeah, fair. True. At least it means I didn't mess something up here, probably. Anyways, there's no holding back. I throw my switch open wide, ignoring my own limits. I generate as much magical energy as I can. My spine ignites and my entire body grows hot red. Yeah. My brain feels like it's melting, and I bite my tongue to endure it. I feel like biting your tongue would make it worse, because that's adding pain. I guess maybe it's like a distraction. My teeth sink into the fleshy muscle. If I have to bite a hole in my tongue to remain conscious, so be it. I guess it's sort of... This is probably a crude way of putting it, but it's a natural mouth guard, I guess? Right? Like a boxer or something will have a mouth guard in. And, see, the common misconception is that that's a shield to, like, protect your teeth when they get punched. What it's actually there for And I guess to an extent it does that. Like, that's a nice side effect. But the real reason is so you can bite down on that way. If someone hits you on the jaw, you're less likely to, like... It helps prevent the jaw from getting, like, misaligned. Because that's the easiest way to knock someone out. Is get the jaw rotated. But, yeah. So I guess if you don't have the mouth guard, there's an argument that biting on the tongue gives you like something with a bit of give to it that may be more effective than just straight up clenching your teeth. So. Okay. What? The footsteps stop. Gilgamesh's amused laughter stops with them. Shiro, what are you doing? You mustn't, or your body will... She must sense something, even without being able to see. Saber screams as she tries desperately to push herself up. Something in me snaps. I stand up. My body tries to ignore my orders, but it begins to move with the help of the surge of magical energy I pour into it. It's like being set on fire and instinctively running towards water in hopes of surviving. I don't care. It's better than seeing Saber like that. Oh. Right. With my mind very nearly burning up, I finally realize. From the beginning, I vowed to wield my sword because I didn't want her to get hurt. What? I told you to flee, so why? I stopped the enemy from approaching. Saber's behind me on the ground. This is it. There's no way I can retreat now. I restrain my panicking, burning body and focus my will. I need to imagine one single thing. I divide the projection into 8 sections and replicate the lost sword. There's something solid in my left hand. I didn't even have to look. My second attempt at manufacturing the sword succeeds. My sword... No. It's not right. You should know very well that we still cannot win against him. If you can move, you have to run. I'm not running. I came here to get you. No way am I going home alone. I ready the sword. See, now, not to, like, Monday morning or Saturday night quarterback this, but I would have copied Gilgamesh's sword, just personally. Given that, like, or maybe both. I'm not sure if that's within. I guess Shiro is more experienced with Excalibur, so I guess maybe that makes up for the apparent discrepancy in power. I hold it in both hands. It's so much heavier than the bamboo sword, and glare at Gilgamesh. No, stop! Shiro, he is. I ignore Saber's words and take a step forward. There's about 4 meters between us. If I rush at him with all my might, maybe I can cut him down. He doesn't move. Gilgamesh watches me for a moment, then laughs. I suppose I'll kill you, then. His voice is utterly devoid of emotion. I instinctively block the attack that comes my way. Are you? I dodge the surprise attack by swaying sideways. Too slow. If the first attack is a sudden gust, the barrage of attacks that follows is like a storm. Blocking is all I can do. Actually, I wouldn't have even been able to block the first attack on my own. Fortunately, when I reproduced the sword, I also reproduced its memory. A sword that's been in so many battles again gains a will of its own after all that experience. This sword must have already mastered this particular dance. I can't follow Gilgamesh's attacks, but the sword seems to be able to. Before I move my arm, the sword is already reacting to Gilgamesh's attacks. I let the sword guide me and managed to parry Gilgamesh's fierce attack. It doesn't last long. Every time I swing the sword, my fingers go numb, and I find myself gradually lagging more and more behind the sword's guidance. You mongrel! This is beyond unseemly. Gilgamesh must not be able to tolerate even the slightest bit of resistance from me. He glares hatefully at me as he backs up just the slightest bit. I'm saved! If he'd kept attacking, I wouldn't have lasted another second. I try to catch my breath. And then... You filthy faker. If you're so enamored of it, I will show you the real thing. He draws a sword. What? It looks familiar. The decorations are different, though. The thoughts that went into making that sword, as well as its soul, are too similar to the sword. Don't tell me. The prototype of this sword. That's right. But its precision as a noble phantasm is without equal. The sword in the stone you hold now originated with the Norse legend of the sword impaled in the tree of supremacy, and this sword is the concept prototype for both. This sword serves as the very foundation of the concept of the divine right of kings. Is he saying he's holding the original model for the sword in the tree of supremacy? The Norse hero Sigmund's demonic sword, Gram? No child surpasses their parent. Replicas deteriorate with each iteration and are no match for the original. And that's one perspective to take. Light flares from the blade. The sword understands perfectly that this is the same attack which killed Berserker in a single strike. Ugh. It must be protecting its owner. The sword in my hands moves toward the enemy's sword more fiercely, more powerfully than ever before. The noble phantasm is called Caliburn, the golden sword of assured victory, but it shatters instantly in the face of Merodach, the original sin. I hear something sliding along the ground. It's a faint rustling sound. Is the park's ground slippery? I roll across the ground like a bit of trash in the wind before finally coming to a stop. Shiro. So what the heck did we just lose to? We lost to. Was it the golden sword of assured victory? No, that's Caliburn. Whoops, it was Gram. The magical sword of the sun, Gram. In the Volsunga saga, Gram was a magical sword of glory and destruction that belonged to Sigurd, the greatest Norse hero. It is also the prototype of Caliburn from the legend of King Arthur. Just as Caliburn was the sword of appointment stuck in the sun, Gram was the sword of appointment stuck in King Volsung's tree. The legend of the magical sword, Gram, and its owner, Sigurd, is marked by the glory and destruction worthy of the hero's name. Later, compiled in medieval Germany, Der Ring des Nebelungen is a knightly tale equally significant to the legends of King Arthur. In this version, Graham appears under a different name, Balmung. It is the strongest magical sword, comparable to the strongest sacred sword, and it even has a dragon-slaying properties. One could consider this the natural counter to the famed King of Knights. Okay. Well then. Okay. So, yeah, I'll be honest, I expect that to go a bit better than it actually did. Her voice tells me I'm still alive. Oh, there you are, Saber. I'm relieved to see that. I thought I'd been blown away, but it doesn't matter since Saber's here. And then, as long as I can stand up, I can run to her. I glance at my arm. It's red. My arm is covered in some sort of sticky red membrane, but there's no blood coming from it. Do not, please. Do not move. Please. Please do not move, Shiro. Saber's shouts reach me as I lay there, staring at my arm. It looks like my torso is what's hurt. That single attack. I'm pretty sure Gilgamesh's sword is what sent me flying. That at least explains why I'm injured. No wonder Saber's so upset. The only thing I can move is my right hand. My left hand doesn't move. I'm not even sure what happened to my left hand. I can't even breathe. A diagonal slash covers my torso, starting at my left shoulder. The slash runs all the way through my body, separating parts of me like mismatched building blocks. I look like a ginkgo leaf. I've been cut open from shoulder to hip. It's actually creepy I'm still alive right now. I don't think this miraculous survival is going to last long. I'm conscious right now, but my vision is already starting to narrow. Besides, even a tiny movement will send all my organs tumbling out of my torso. Maybe I really am dead, and my consciousness or my ghost or something is just hanging around watching what's unfolding. I thought that attack would leave you scattered all over the place. You are nothing if not tenacious, I suppose clinging so desperately to life is the only good quality of a mongrel like you a mongrel possesses. He laughs. I'm grateful for it, honestly. The more horribly grating that laughter is, the harder my consciousness fights to cling to my physical body. But it all ends here. You are unworthy of a lion. She will be mine. More footsteps. This time he's going to take Saber. For sure. Choice time. Okay, well then. I stand up or don't get up. Can I stand up in this circumstance? Seems unlikely. Though, I mean, if there's one impressive thing about me, it's my insane healing ability, so maybe I can get up. Then the other question is it a good idea? I mean, we don't really have much of a plan here. But I mean, what happens if we don't get up? I guess he takes Saber, whatever that literally means. Like take her hostage, take her in holy matrimony. I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm probably operating under the general principle here that usually in this game, cowardice is not rewarded. Usually you get rewarded for like rising to the occasion and fighting despite the unbearable odds. So I think that's where I'm leaning towards here, standing up. It could be really dumb. So it's kind of a stupid idea, but maybe it's stupid enough to work. I pour all the strength I have left into my one good arm. I try to grip the ground with my sticky, slippery arm and lever myself upright, even as I'm on the verge of literally splitting apart. Well, I mean, when you put it that way, it kind of sounds like a bad idea. For a brief second, I see Saber's face. She's on the brink of tears. In that moment, I'm proud to know falling in love with her wasn't a mistake. Hold it! It's not over yet. I force myself up. Neither of my legs work. The magical energy that barely kept my body moving is gone. All that remains is my faint heartbeat and the throbbing of my organs trying desperately to continue functioning. Ah, feeling regret, are we? I can hardly blame you, but that treasure is beyond you. I can hardly blame you for wanting to take it for yourself. That must make it all the more painful to see it in the hands of another man. Too far. He goes too far. I can't listen to another second of his shit. Enough. Quit talking about Saber like she's just some thing to be claimed. I pour what energy I can into my right arm. It feels like it's made of lead. My body creaks and protests, but begins to obey. Ugh. I push myself up to one knee. Damn. Listen to me! I take a deep breath, trying to focus what strength I have left. Every time I move, I feel my organs shifting around as if with minds of their own. Why? I don't understand that it is pointless. Saber sounds like she's denouncing me. She's far away. In the distance, I can see her staring at me, sad and forlorn. I push everything from my mind to focus on making my body move. Saber's voice is just a distraction. Gilgamesh's laughter, the pathetic state of my body's in. None of that is my big stop score right now. Right now it's Saber. Hearing her say that, seeing her looking like that, it's almost enough to make me give up. Finally, I feel life flood into my knees. Now all I have to do is get to my feet. I don't need it. I need your help. I've lost, and so I am no longer your sword. It is only part for me to disappear now. It's Saber's voice. Damn. If you keep saying that, if you keep making this even harder, I'll get mad. Even to you. No, please stop, Shiro. You cannot keep going. Really, you will die. If you die this way. It's why I can't keep listening to this. There's no idea how I feel. Shut up. Just be quiet for a minute. There's nothing wrong with relying on me at times like this. That is wrong, Shiro. Please do not twist your priorities so. You should not concern yourself with me. Just put your life ahead of mine. She's pleading with me. Knowing that I'm responsible for the agonized sound of her voice makes me want to give up right now. But I refuse. There's nothing in the world I want more than you. I can't allow myself to give in to her plea. What? Saber gapes at me. I'm not sure why, but I remember something. She once told me I was a fool who didn't know the value of my own life. I think she's right. For someone who can't help themselves to try to help someone else is a little presumptuous. They're really only doing it for their own happiness, while the person they are meant to be helping may not be half so pleased. Someone's first priority should be themselves. The people who think like that are the ones who can be truly happy, and so they can then share that happiness with other people as well. Yeah, I know I'm a fool who doesn't value his own life. I've been wrong about the most important thing in my life. And that day, the place in my heart where whatever is most important to me should have been was empty. But I'm grateful for that abnormality, because now that empty space is filled with the person I truly want to save. Saber. Even if I'm the most important thing in my life, nothing will change. You are so much more beautiful than my life could ever be. Nothing could ever replace you in my heart. And then I realized it wasn't that I was sympathetic towards her. The girl in my dreams. That girl who fought and died alone, who I felt was never rewarded for all she did. I was in awe of her. I thought she was beautiful beyond words. The vivid image of her taking her sword and charging into battle, never looking back, was awe-inspiring. Yeah, that's why I need to protect you, Saber. You were alone your entire life, so I have to make sure you're not swallowed up by the darkness in your last moments. Yep. Once this is all over, on the verge of your death, I hope you can go into your eternal slumber, proud of what you did with your life. No more hesitation. My objective is clear. Sorry. I love you more than anything, Saber. So, I'm not letting him take you. I regret the apology as soon as I give it. But I wanted to tell her. I wanted to tell her that, now of all times, because the words could come straight from my heart. I sense her gasping. I want to turn around to see her face, but no, I can't really see anymore anyway. I stand up. As long as my heart is still beating, I can keep fighting. Magical energy is life. As long as it flows through me, I can create as many swords for her as she needs. Congratulations, you've stood up! Now what? What do you expect to happen here? I feel scorching heat in my right hand. Here on the brink of death, I'm reminded of what happened 10 years ago. It's a terrible illusion. I feel just like I did when I was in the fire, reaching a hand out and hoping to be saved. Go away. I can't leave Saber to you. I say that as I raise my right hand. Fool, I have no need for your consent. What is this, that one meme of like, I consent, she consents, you forgot to ask someone, who'd you forget to ask? Oh, I forgot to ask Shiro. Well, who gives a damn? Gilgamesh raises his sword. Get down, Shiro! I hear Saber far behind me. I ignore her and use my remaining magical energy to project a sword once more. The light stops me. A vortex of light rushes at me. It's not as strong as Excalibur, but it still burns away anything it touches. When the heat scorches my body, I don't think about my death. I think about Saber somewhere behind me. This will kill her as well as me. I at least need to protect her then. I said it's what I'd do. It's what I've always wanted to do. She's strong, but at the same time, could break at any moment. She needs me. She's like a drawn sword, so to make sure she doesn't get hurt, I'll sheath her! And then, before I realized what's going on, there's a sword in my right hand. What? I'm not sure who said that, but there was a brief hesitation. At the same moment, the invincible knight in gold takes a step backward. Sure, allow me. Saber takes my hand. The vortex of light fades. Saber's right beside me. Before me is Gilgamesh, eyes open and bleeding. Oh. I don't know what happened. But Rez, it's just like the Berserker battle. Saber's using whatever I made, and it destroyed Gilgamesh's Gram. Two titanic beams of light collided before one overwhelms the other, and we managed to truly wound the man who, until now, had been completely unscathed. He radiates murderous intent. It is terrifying. In spite of that ferocious, murderous rage, the Golden Knight leaves without a word. Huh? What? But there's no time to be surprised. I have no idea why he just left. But even as I feel myself slipping into unconscious, I know the battle's over. My knees buckle. The tension that kept me upright fades and I collapse. Saber hurries forward and catches me. While I slip down onto my rear, supported by Saber, I look over my body. I can't help but cry out. My body is torn to pieces. I should have been killed the instant Gilgamesh laid me open from shoulder to hip. Well, this is definitely... My healing power must be what's got me clinging to life, but even that has its limits. Well, I'm not so sure about that at this point. All evidence seems to point to the contrary. I'm practically split in two. I can't possibly recover from this. Not even sure if I'm breathing, and everything is starting to go dark. My end is near. The only good thing to come from this is that Saber's okay. My wounds are fatal, but it looks like Saber's just exhausted. She's disarmed and her wounds are already healed. Really? She doesn't normally heal that fast. Even if I end up having to drop out of the war. I'm sure Tasaka can take care of the rest. I hear that sound again. That sound of creaking bones is coming from me. Curious, I look down at my wounds. What? I see myriad swords? That's concerning. Or I see what looks like tons of tiny blades converging, layering atop each other, trying to knit together my broken body. I feel faint. It looks like every muscle and bone in my body is made from swords. Well, that's weird. Am I just an amalgam? A weapon? A literal metal weapon? Given life? What does that mean? What are the implications? Am I real? Am I human? And if not, why not? What is my purpose? The next moment they're gone. My body looks normal, and what I thought was a moment ago, or thought I saw a moment ago, seems to have only been an illusion. As proof that my ruined flesh begins fusing together, my wounds close right before my eyes. It's more like restoration rather than healing. Looking at it, I feel a surge of disgust rather than fascination. Looks like I'm going to make it. Huh. But this is just too... What a relief. It appears you will not die, Master. Saber, please don't tell me you did something reckless. I hear Saber's voice in my ear. She's, really close. Well, that's great, but my body was... I want to ask what's going on with her body, but I'm suddenly overcome with dizziness. And then, my body is enveloped in a soft embrace. Saber? No. I understand now. It makes sense for your wounds to be healing. I can't stay awake. I produce too much magical energy. My worn-down mind just wants sleep now. I don't know how strong it is. But Saber moves closer and wraps her arms around me. She embraces me tight. I finally understand. You were my sheath, Shiro. Her words penetrate deep into my tired mind. Oh. The sensation is so comforting, and the last of my remaining consciousness fades away. I finally realize I'm safe, and so I yield my body to sleep. Before sleep takes me, I find myself thinking with a little foolish sadness that this scene would be better if our positions were reversed.